Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast, brought to you by DirecTV, 1-800-259-7646. Also brought to you by RVRealtor.com. If you're buying an RV or selling an RV, check out RVRealtor.com and the Dollar Shave Club. Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening on a Thursday. Hey, beautiful. How you doing?
Super duper. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm excited because we've got an author that we're going to be talking to today. This is a guy I've actually met before. JeffreyHayzlett is his name. And if you ever watched Celebrity Apprentice, he used to be one of the judges on there. He was one of the judges, or I don't know if you call it judges, but one of the people who would sit on Donald Trump's side of the table. Anyway, he's got a new book coming out called Think Big, Act Bigger. We're going to be chatting with him about things we can do to be thinking big. That's coming up. Also, got a lot of other fun stuff we're going to be doing on the program. And listen to this. Scientists discovered that the Y chromosome repairs itself. That is the male chromosome, Heidi. So the female chromosome is the X chromosome, but the male Y chromosome repairs itself.
Well, probably had to. You guys would try to fix it with duct tape.
I was just going to say, chances are we patched ourselves up with duct tape, but we fix ourselves, guys. Good news. All right, coming up, we got some fun stuff to share. It is a Thursday edition of the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. Get razors for $1 a month plus a few bucks shipping, so you can enjoy fresh razors every month for as little as $3. Learn more at dollarshaveclub.com/radio.
In England, a man was told by a hospital that he had pancreatic cancer and he had 1 year to live. That's not good.
No.
So listen to what he did. He quit his job and he spent as much money as he possibly could on restaurants and hotels and vacations. Well, now he's suing the hospital.
He was misdiagnosed.
Because they diagnosed him wrong. Turns out he's not dying.
No.
But here's the cool thing. At least he went out and enjoyed himself. There was a song a couple years ago.
Right, but if he spent his entire retirement and everything, now he has nothing to live on.
I understand that.
He should sue, I would think,
there was
because
a song
they put him at risk now.
A few years ago that Tim McGraw did, a country song, Live Like You Were Dying. And I always thought that was such a neat song because you should live like you're dying.
Yes, we have to be responsible.
I understand that, but I mean, there are things that if you put off...
And this poor guy, he probably couldn't afford to do those things.
I understand. So I'm sure he has a case, and there should be... But the good news is he's living. So, you should be happy.
I mean, there's good news and bad. I mean, the good news is you're going to live. The bad news is you can't afford to.
There you go. Coming up, we got some fun stuff to share about a kid that got his finger stuck somewhere he shouldn't have. It's all on the way on the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RVRealtor.com. If you want to buy or sell an RV, go to RVRealtor.com. List your RV for free. Learn more at RVRealtor.com.
Oh, it's true because you heard it on the radio. It can be tough sometimes sitting still in church. Remember, as a child, you're supposed to sit there for like an hour and you get fidgety. And, well, there's a little boy that was fidgeting at the back of a pew in front of him, and he put his finger in a pencil hole. They had a place to put pencils.
Yeah.
And he got his finger stuck in the pencil hole, and he couldn't get it out. He tried everything he could think of to get free. He was trying not to cause a scene, so, he's not making a big deal of it. He's just kind of, leaning there, acting all cool. He pulled, he tugged, tried again, probably even prayed a little bit. He's in church after all. He was at this prayer meeting. He was careful not to interrupt the service. He didn't say a word about the little problem to anybody for 45 minutes. In fact, he waited until the service was completely over before saying anything. And after that, the churchgoers tried lubricating his finger with cooking oil from the church kitchen.
Right.
That didn't work. The finger was really stuck.
No.
At 8:30 p.m., firefighters came in, and they had to use a saw to cut out a section of the pew. The pastor said no harm, maybe a little damage to a pew, but the kid's fine, so no harm. So can you imagine how embarrassing that would be?
Yeah, very embarrassing.
Getting your finger stuck. They had like a place to put pencils, and he had, he's a little kid. He had his finger stuck in one of those holes, and he couldn't get it out. There was a time where your cousins didn't they get their head stuck in the railing or something? You were telling me because your Grandpa Charlie.
In the table.
In the table.
In the kitchen table, yeah. My cousin Andy.
Got his head stuck between the...
Yeah.
And then your cousin Alan, didn't he get his tongue stuck on a railing?
Yes.
And
in the winter.
Charlie, those of you who listen to the program regularly, you hear him every Tuesdays with Charlie. Charlie came to the rescue, and how did he save him?
dumped his beer on my cousin's tongue.
Yeah, his little grandnephew or whatever he would be hit his tongue to the railing, got stuck. Charlie came out and poured a little Schlitz on it. He says, a little Schlitz will fix that.
It did.
And he came off, and ever since, that guy has a taste for alcohol, that young boy does.
Yes, he does.
I think we could probably pin that on Charlie. All right. Thank you so much for listening. And again, this young man was stuck for a long time with his finger stuck in a hole. And you know that's true because you heard it on the radio.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again?
844-204-1055.
And this is your brain on drugs. So take a listen to this. Authorities in Florida, in the Panhandle there, say they arrested a convenience store shoplifter who demanded to drink the 12-ounce beer that he had stolen before being taken into custody. The Bay County Sheriff's Office says the man told the deputy that he had recently lost his job of 13 years and just wanted to drink a beer. The man became combative when the deputy would not let him finish it. George R. Lintham II was charged on Wednesday of last week with shoplifting, battery, possession of marijuana, not more than 20 grams, and smuggling contraband into a detention facility. So
now here's something I would like to say. If you've got the money to buy marijuana, you got to steal your beer.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that. That's a bad idea. Well, you shouldn't. Even if you don't have the money for the beer, you should just not have the beer. Don't steal it. Period. That's a bad idea. So I feel bad for the guy. He lost his job of 13 years. Is that what it said? In 13 years he had the job and lost it?
Yeah, that's too bad.
But I'm telling you, the actions that you just had there, that's not going to help.
Perhaps it could be because of poor life decisions that he lost his job.
But I'm just saying, the things that he did, that's not going to help you get another job. So put your energy into finding something new or doing something positive, and I think you're going to feel better. You won't have the hangover, and you won't get arrested for having your brain on drugs.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Keystone Treatment Center. Addiction is no laughing matter. Call Keystone Treatment Center toll-free at 1-844-204-1055.
All right, we've got your moment of duh, and this one is for the fishies out there. So fishies, listen up. A researcher believes that fish could learn which predators to avoid by watching videos of one of their own being killed. So according to this guy, they're saying that you should have your fish watch like how-to tapes. They suggest highly trained fish could then be put in with other fish to teach them how to react to predators. The guy's name is Cullen Brown. He's trained in fish, Heidi. Guy's onto something. Or he's on something, one or the other. He says after putting one of his predators behind a glass screen, the expert fish could show how others teach the others how to react. The researcher from Edinburgh University believes that the survival training will improve the chances of fish released from hatcheries. Studies suggest 5% of the 5 billion hatchery-reared salmon released worldwide survive to adulthood, so 95% don't make it. Mr. Brown suggests that a more drastic lesson would be to show footage of the predators in action. Teach these schooled fish, school them in something good.
Teach them self-defense.
Teach them to run is what he's saying. So he's saying we got to show them a video of what fish to look out for and then put them out in the wild.
Stranger danger.
Otherwise, they're going to go, hey, who's that guy coming my way? He looks friendly. Oh, he just ate me. Darn it. So I don't know. I think, let's just let nature do its thing. Yeah. Do we really want to teach the fish too much? Otherwise, eventually, you're going to go fishing, and they're going to know too much, and you're going to be the one that gets caught. So
I mean, there's a food chain for a reason.
Well, I
don't think we want to mess with that.
Let's not educate them too much. Otherwise,
right.
You're going to need a fishing license.
Screw up the balance of things.
Mm-hmm. Not good. Coming up, we have your scoop of the day, and we have a guest on the way. We have Jeffrey Hayzlett coming up in a little bit. He's going to be visiting with us about his new book called Think Big, Act Bigger. That's on the way on the John and Heidi Show.
The scoop of the day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now, your scoop of the day. Police say a 22-year-old woman accused of shoplifting $300 worth of merchandise from a Minnesota sporting goods store, then fought with security guards before running away.
That's like one sweatshirt.
Yeah, she arrived at the scene.
I was just at a Minnesota sporting goods store here not too long ago, and
she stole $300 worth of stuff.
Worth would be about one sweatshirt.
She fought the security guards, then ran away, and they looked on the surveillance. Guess how she got there?
How?
In a limo.
Oh, good Lord.
She showed up in a
Are
limo.
you kidding me?
Oh, no, you can't make this kind of stuff up.
Oh,
That's
my
true.
gosh.
An 11-year-old boy was arrested after stealing a car and leading deputies on a chase in the Seattle area. They say the boy stole the car after finding a hidden key. You know those little Heidi key things? Mm-hmm. You know, he found one of those. He's like, hey, let's go for a spin. 17 hours and 35 minutes, Heidi. That's how long you can expect to be in the air if you book a ticket for the world's longest nonstop flight.
No,
17
thank you.
hours, 35 minutes. Set to take off from Dubai and land at Panama City beginning February 1st. The Emirates airline is going to be offering this flight. So anybody who wants to go on a really, 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 really long flight, there you go. Humans of the world, no more bears in your snaps, okay?
What?
Take a listen to what I'm reading here. I don't know what the heck I'm saying. I just read what it says.
All right.
It says, your insistence on officially ruining the forest for everyone else. Officials in Colorado have closed the Waterton Canyon because they've, quote, seen people using selfie sticks to try to get a close photo of a selfie with a bear. Sometimes they get within 10 feet. Park managers have closed the canyon to humans until the bear activity subsides because these bears, they don't know what you're doing. People are like, hey, it's a bear. Let's get a selfie quick. And they're taking a picture.
What an idiot.
And then when these people get mauled, they're like, well, this is an unsafe park. No, you're a moron. Don't do a selfie with a bear. All right. Your cell phone may be harming your hearing. What? Mm-hmm. I was expecting you to say that. According to the authors of the research, Naresh Panda, MD, she led a study of 100 cell phone users, and the results show that 4 years of heavy cell phone use, it's about an hour a day is what they call heavy. That's an hour a day.
Oh, my gosh, John. You are going to be completely deaf.
An hour a day is heavy. Oh, boy. What would you call me then?
Yeah, you are worse than a teenage girl.
Okay. Well, they say an hour a day is heavy usage. That diminishes the user's ability to hear high frequencies, making it hard for them to distinguish between certain sounds. I absolutely agree with this. I mean, there are times that I think Heidi says, yeah, that sounds like fun. And meanwhile, I find out she says, no, I didn't want to go there at all. I'm like, I thought you said you wanted to go to this movie. You're like, no, I didn't say that.
That's called selective hearing. That is not damaged hearing.
I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure this is what you said. See, I can blame it on my cell phone, Heidi. All right. According to a new Yale study, some skin cancer survivors still like to tan. They needed a study for that?
Yeah.
So that's a bad idea, by the way. If you've survived skin cancer and you're saying, hey, dodge the bullet on that one. Oh, hey, let's go tanning again. Now, maybe don't do that. Researchers say that peeing in the ocean is actually good for marine life. This, I believe, probably came from some guy that got caught peeing in the ocean. He's like, no, I'm a marine biologist. This is really good for sea life. I'll bet that's where that study came from. All right, we got one last thing to get to here, and then we'll have our stupid law. I mean, strange law. I shouldn't say stupid. But there's a guy in the Guinness World Record book now for the longest ear hair since 2003. Amazingly, in the time since the official recognition, this Indian grocer has been able to double the length of his world-beating tresses. Keep in mind, this is from his ears. From 5 inches when he first got in there, he's up to 10 inches of ear hair. He tells us that he uses a special herb shampoo to help his ear hair grow. If there is a record to break, I'm thinking, right, there's one I could probably do.
You could probably knock that one out in a week and a half.
Oh, I don't know what happened to me, but somehow my ear hair just takes off like crazy. I trim it quite often, and then you're like, did you shave your ears? I'm like, yeah, yesterday.
You're one sexy beast.
I know. What can I say? Hey, ladies, I'm taken. Sorry. Time now for your strange law. In Wisconsin, it's illegal to kiss on a train.
Oh.
Good to know. Next time we go to Wisconsin, let's break the law.
All right.
It's illegal to kiss on a train in Wisconsin. I don't know why. It's just your strange law. And this has been your Scoop of the Day. Jeffrey Hayzlett with Think Big, Act Bigger is on the way.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RoughToughKennels.com. Dog kennels and accessories sent to your front door wherever you live. Your dog deserves it. Learn more at RoughToughKennels.com.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday. I've got a special guest on the telephone line right now. I have author Jeffrey Hayzlett. Jeffrey, how are you doing today?
I am doing great. I'm acting big today. acting really big.
Well, you got to act big. You got a cool book out now. It's called Think Big, Act Bigger, The Rewards of Being Relentless. And I'm excited for you. This book is already on fire, and it's going to be a big deal, isn't it?
Absolutely. In fact, I'm talking about the most dangerous move in business is the failure to make a move. And what this book's all about is challenging conventional wisdom, those self-imposed limitations, all those abstract obstacles, things that get in our way of thinking big and acting bigger and being relentless. So I'm wanting people to rewrite their own story, become the bigger, bolder version of themselves.
When a person makes that dive and says, I'm going to get into business for myself, it's a scary thing to do. But when they do it, it's also a really rewarding thing to do. Now, there's a lot of people when they get into business, sadly, they don't all make it. Why is it that 50% of businesses fail within the first 5 years?
Well, it's about your conditions of satisfaction. What is it you're trying to drive? Make sure you've got those goals in front of you. More than goals, they're really promises. What are the promises that you're making for yourself in the business? And so that you know to get in it, and this is what you're going to do, and you're going to hit certain milestones, or get out of it if you don't. Because one of my good friends, Fran Tarkenton, who we know from the Minnesota Vikings for many, many years, he said, if you haven't been in business for yourself, lying awake at night, in bed, wondering whether you're going to make payroll or not, you haven't lived in business. And it's that way, and it's a scary thing, but it can be a great thing if you have conditions of satisfaction.
And for our listeners here in the Sioux Falls and Sioux City area, Jeffrey Hayzlett, now you have a tie to this community, the Sioux Falls community. Now, what is that tie exactly?
Well, I'm from South Dakota. I grew up in Rapid City, but I live out in Brandon near Sioux Falls now. Been a native of Sioux Falls for some 35 or almost maybe it's closer to 40 years, where I've been in and around the community. So we call Sioux Falls home. I have offices in New York, L.A., San Francisco, in Sioux Falls, and people all the time say, why Sioux Falls? And I tell them, because I can.
And I love that. On the email signature, it's got all those other places, then it says right behind it, Sioux Falls, because I can, which I think is really, really cool. Now, people that maybe are watching business channels, they're watching, getting all kinds of updates on things that are going on in the business world, they probably will recognize you because you spend quite a bit of time in front of the camera doing stuff there. Let's talk a little bit about that. What are some of the things that they might know you from there, Jeffrey?
Yeah, I got started first. I was a judge on Celebrity Apprentice with Donald Trump, and so I was on 3 seasons of that as a judge, and would come in and judge the various participants, the celebrities or pseudo-celebrities, I'd like to call some of them. And then I went on and became the host of my own show on Bloomberg, a primetime television show called The C-Suite with Jeffrey Hayzlett. That was such a big success that we've now taken that and gone online because we have millions of folks that are following us online. So I have a TV show that's called Executive Perspectives and C-Suite with Jeffrey Hayzlett on what's called csuitetv.com. And then I also have a podcast on CBS. And in fact, if you're watching 60 Minutes or 48 hours, or even the Grammys or the Music Awards, you typically see my radio commercial on the CBS TV show because usually it runs with Faith Stahl and myself talking about the podcast network that we've got.
That is really cool, and congratulations on the success, and I'm super excited for your book. Now, let's get back to that for a moment here. Think Big, Act Bigger, The Rewards of Being Relentless. What was the inspiration for you to put this together? Did you kind of see a pattern of people making the same mistakes, or what was it that you said, hey, I think there's a book here?
Yeah, exactly. With every book or every year that you get older, I've had 2 books out that have been bestsellers, The Mirror Test and Running the Gauntlet. In this book, my agent said, Jeff, you need to unleash yourself. You've been holding back, and I'm not known to be holding back. And this one I said, look, I am tired of watching people fail. I'm tired of watching companies cut and cut and cut. It's time to start growing. And at the same time, I'm hearing all these people say, well, we've tried that before, or it's not in the budget. And I'm sick and tired of all these excuses. And I said, it's time for us just to, steamroll through those obstacles and focus on the right business that makes the most sense and how to achieve the next big thing by being sometimes a little pig-headed, sometimes a little irrational, and doing it because we can.
That's the cool thing about living in the country we live in America. You can be born rich and end up poor. That happens, but the part that I would rather talk about is you can be born dead poor and have not a thing at all, and you can become one of the wealthiest people in America. It's because we live in a country where you have that option. That's not available to everybody everywhere.
Yeah, and you can even be a guy like Donald Trump and make a lot of money and then go run for president, which is it's going to be an unbelievable next 12 months as we watch all of that stuff go on.
Well, and while we got you on the line, since you used to sit next to him at boardroom tables, what do you think? Is that I personally, I think the guy, I don't know why he would want to do that. He's going to be taking a pay cut to take that job, right?
Well, there's no doubt about it. But, as they say in politics, it's a long, long time till next November. So I think we're going to see people come and go, and I think we're going to see a lot more entertaining pieces of this election before it's over with, and I wouldn't count out some of the other candidates yet.
I know there are people that are for Donald Trump. There are people that are against Donald Trump. Whether you like him or you don't like him doesn't matter to me at all. Here's the thing that I will say. He has stirred things up. He's got people talking. He has some people right now interested in this election that have never really been interested in elections before. So if nothing else, I would say that right there is a huge success.
Well, that's one of the best things about this country, and you said it before, about whatever you can do, you can make for yourself. And I think if he's done anything, he's certainly re-energized people's opinions one way or the other, and those are always a good thing to have happen. And so for that, we need to thank him. Whether or not you want to vote for him, that's a different deal, but at least at this time, he's making a lot more interesting.
Yeah, and opening some eyes and getting some people talking. Now, let's get some people talking about your book. It's available right now. Think Big, Act Bigger, The Rewards of Being Relentless. Jeffrey, where can we find a copy of this?
You can find it, certainly on my website at Hayzlett.com, but you can also go to Barnes & Noble, any of your independent bookstores. You can find it on Amazon. It's on Kindle. It's on Nook. And, hey, by the way, it's in every airport in North America, because a lot of the traveling business public, read a lot of books, and we've been a real big icon in the traveling business public with the television shows and our online offerings with the C-suite. So pick it up there.
So if you're traveling somewhere, this would be a great book. Now, can you finish the whole book in while you're on the flight, or is it going to take a little longer than that?
Well, it takes maybe a little bit longer unless you got a good overnight flight or cross country. I've had a couple people, though, they finished it in about 4 or 5 hours. But they got to be fast readers.
Well, very cool. Again, Jeffrey Hayzlett, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us. What is your website, once again, if they want to go check it out?
It's Hayzlett.com, HAYZLETT.com, or Think Big Tour. You can go find it there as well.
Again, Jeffrey Hayzlett, author of Think Big, Act Bigger, The Rewards of Being Relentless. Buy it wherever you like to buy your books, and if you go to a store that doesn't have it, ask for it. I'm sure they can get it for you. Thank you for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by CarsForSale.com. If you're in the market to buy a car, truck, or van, find thousands of vehicles to choose from at CarsForSale.com.
Today is a very special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
Thought you never asked. Today is Thursday, the 24th day of September. That means it is, I don't know if I'm saying this right, Energize Day, not Energize, Innergize. Energize, would you say
I wonder
that
what that is.
Not exactly sure. It's also National Ag Day. Well, happy Ag Day to all of the farmers out there. That's a really cool thing. Growing up, I worked on a farm. I have a special appreciation for folks that do that. It is a lot of hard work. So thank you.
I have been to one once.
Well, you did some. No, you worked one summer for like half a day with your mother.
No. I worked all summer.
Did you also?
Yeah,
that's
just
not
all
what your
the
mother
tasseling
says.
season. Oh, whatever.
So yeah,
all season. That's tough work.
So
that's
it is
very tough work.
National Punctuation Day. Did I get it wrong? National Punctuation Day.
You're such a dork.
I used the wrong punctuation.
It's a dork day. It's a National Dork Day as well.
No, but it's this. I don't know how to say this for sure. I might get it wrong. Schwenkwelter Thanksgiving Day. No. Schwenkfelder
I have no clue.
Thanksgiving. I don't know what that is. SCHWENKFELDER.
I don't know.
Schwenkfelder.
But we should all be
Thanksgiving.
thankful for that.
So be thankful for that. There you go. That's going to do it. Get out there and celebrate one way or another. Have a Schwenkfelder Thanksgiving turkey. And be thankful for the farmer that made it. Coming up, we've got coupons in the news. We'll tell you all about that.
This portion of the program is brought to you by StoneGroupArchitects.com. It's more than a building. It's design and function working together. Check out the project portfolio at StoneGroupArchitects.com.
As Americans continue to be concerned about the general cost of living in today's unpredictable economy, they look for ways to save, to get the biggest bang for their buck. Heidi, did you know that September is National Coupon Month?
Ah, that's nice.
A reminder that clipping coupons is an easy and fun way to save. I had to read that because I would have never said that. I don't think clipping coupons is fun at all. As a matter of fact, you sent me to the store the other day with a couple of coupons.
I did.
And I felt
they
like
were good coupons.
They were very good. And I felt like such an idiot because I had everything run through, And she told me the amount. I was like, oh, yeah, get some coupons. And then everybody behind me was like, because apparently you're supposed to give them to her ahead of time. She's up there, beepity beep 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 beepity beep beep beep. Yeah, you saved 8 cents. Thank you for wasting everyone's time.
No, you did not. You saved several dollars. So,
all right. According to research from the Promotion Marketing Association Coupon Council, I didn't know there was such a thing. They say many consumers are already taking advantage of saving opportunities. Listen to this: 89% of the overall population uses coupons when shopping. 89%. So there's only 11% of us that don't like doing that?
You know what? I used to use coupons all the time, and now I still will. If I get a really good one, I'll use it, but I don't go clipping coupons.
Yeah. Listen to this.
I used to. When we lived in Norfolk, we used to clip coupons all the time.
You guys are smart because you save an average of 7% on your grocery bill. That's an average. Some save way more. Consumers who spend 20 minutes per week clipping and organizing their coupons can save up to $1,000 a year. I might start doing this. The typical family saves between $520 and $960 per week using coupons. About $2.6 billion is saved annually by consumers who use manufacturers' coupons, Heidi. And listen to this one. More than $350 billion in coupons are offered every single year. Going to have to clip some things. If you want to know more, you might check out their website, the National Coupon. Oh, where did it go? Over here. Marketing Promotion Association Coupon Council.
There you go.
Probably.com. I don't know. It's a long name. You might just Google where can I go to get coupons. I have no idea. Coming up, we're going to talk about, do you leave a tip or do you not leave a tip? If you go to this place, you better leave a tip. We'll tell you all about that in a bit.
This portion of the program is brought to you by DirecTV, 1-800-259-7646. Also brought to you by RVWheelator.com. If you're buying an RV or selling an RV, check out RVWheelator.com and the Dollar Shave Club. Here's John and Heidi.
It's one of those things that there's actually a movie Quentin Tarantino did that talked about tipping. My son, well, your son too. We're married, so we have the same son. He and I talked about this, and it was a very funny scene in the movie. Steve Buscemi was talking about tipping. And it's a thing that if you want to get in the most heated debate, find somebody who believes strongly in tipping and find someone who doesn't believe in it at all and watch the fireworks fly. But not leaving a tip in a restaurant is often considered rude. In New York, it's considered criminal. A man from the New York City area was arrested after his party of 9 failed to leave an 18% tip. The restaurant's mandatory gratuity for parties of 6 or more. It was printed right on there. It was added to his bill. Humberto Traveras was arrested for not producing the $13.73 tip to the $77.43 bill at Soprano's Italian and American Grill. He faces a misdemeanor charge of theft of services and, if convicted, could serve up to a year in jail. Joe Soprano, who owns the restaurant, said that he did not intend to have him arrested when they filed the complaint. He was just saying, hey, it's not fair. These people work hard, and you didn't leave a tip. And the guy is saying, I didn't leave the tip because you made it mandatory. And it shouldn't be mandatory. It should be my choice. And you're taking away my choice. So I thought, you know what? I'm taking away the tip. It'll be interesting to see where that thing lands. So there's going to be all kinds of heated debate on that, I'm sure. Which we're not going to get into because I see you biting your lip, literally biting your lip, which I don't know.
I have strong opinions on this.
We're good on this. Let's move on. Coming up in a bit, we're going to talk about a prisoner, which I feel much more comfortable about than talking about whatever Heidi wanted to bring up. That's on the way. And a missing Barbie in the news on the way as well. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by GunUp.com. If you're a gun lover, you'll be in heaven at GunUp.com. Built by experienced military veterans, shooting sports competitors, and publishing professionals. They have awesome stories and articles that are read by millions of gun enthusiasts. Check it out at GunUp.com.
Can you sue the prison because they don't serve spicy food?
No.
Well,
you're in prison.
Maybe you can.
Oh, good
A
Lord.
Hong Kong court has thrown out an appeal by a Chinese man. He wanted to cut his prison term short because he can't get spicy food behind bars.
No, sorry.
Law Kwong Hing told the court last Tuesday that he had a hard time adjusting to life in prison because the dishes from his native Hunan province were not available. He says, I'm a native of Hunan and I like spicy food, but there is no spicy food here. I want to leave early. Well, here's the thing, sir. His first name is Law. So right there you'd think that he would obey the law, but he did not. If you want to have choices in life, continue to have freedom and things like that, don't break the law.
Exactly.
Then it is up to you what you eat. But if you do break the law and you go to jail, it's really not up to you anymore. So it's his fault for being there, and I think it's ridiculous, and I'm glad to hear the Hong Kong court threw that out. Now, if they were making him eat something that was disgusting or making him eat something that wasn't good, that's one thing. He's just going, I like hot food. I like spicy food. Sorry.
Yeah, it's not an all-you-can-eat buffet. You don't get to pick and choose. It's not a restaurant. You don't get to choose and order.
No.
You have to eat what they give you.
There you go. Coming up, we're going to talk about Barbie. She's missing. We'll see if you know where she's at. It's all on the way on the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. You can get razors sent to your door each month for just $1, plus a couple of bucks shipping. It's an amazing deal. Log on to dollarshaveclub.com/radio to learn more. That's dollarshaveclub.com/radio. Now, back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
Putting out an APB for a good-looking curvy blonde. Barbie is missing, Heidi. The search is on. She's missing, and police in Texas are looking for her. I'm talking about Barbie the doll. Police in Texas are looking for a collection of 40 Barbie dolls. They fell out of the back of a pickup truck owned by a collector, Allison Burkett. She was moving from an apartment to a different apartment in San Antonio. The collection is worth about $1,000, including new and vintage dolls, all in their original packaging and in mint condition. So somebody was walking down the street and found, Barbies that fell off a truck. If you could pick anything to fall off a truck and you got to keep it, what would you pick? Would you pick Barbie dolls?
No.
I wouldn't really. What would be something cool that you'd see fall out of a truck and you go, oh, wow, look at that. First thing I would do is I'd try to find the people that, that lost it, because that would be the right thing to do. But if it was
priceless uncut diamonds.
Because nobody would come back looking for those.
A huge box of priceless uncut diamonds.
Why uncut?
So that you could cut them yourself into whatever you want, make some gorgeous jewelry, and then they wouldn't be able to positively identify it because you've altered it.
You may have put too much thought into this, which really concerns me.
I'd be like, prove it. How do you know this is your diamond? Doesn't even look like your diamonds. I saw the pictures.
This jeweler told me you said to carve it in the shape of an elephant. So
I love elephants.
I know you do. All right, yeah, some missing Barbie dolls. I don't know what I would want to fall off the back. I like, old radios, so that'd be kind of cool. But again, I'm sure if they fell off a truck, they'd probably be destroyed. So.
And most likely those Barbies are no longer worth $1,000 because whoever found them probably took them all home, opened them up, and was playing with them, because that's what I would do with them.
Or they got run over by a truck or something like that. That'd be a bad deal too. So anyway, they're looking for them in San Antonio, Texas. $1,000 worth of Barbies fell off the back of a truck. Coming up, we've got some good news for you. That's on the way on the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by DirecTV. Call 1-800-259-7646. They have hundreds of channels to choose from, with many packages to fit your viewing desires. Learn more at 1-800-259-7646.
We always like to end this program with something positive and upbeat, don't we?
Yes, we do.
And I certainly try to find something every day. And I think today is another day that I succeeded. Take a listen to this. Alex Collins desperately wanted to go hunting. So when he saw a Facebook invitation from the Chester County Sheriff, he wrote a letter. In the letter, Alex explained, "It's just me and my mom, and she's too sick to do stuff. I hope you can pick me. But according to the Good News Network, there's one little problem. The sheriff that was offering the outing in Chester County, he's not in Chester County, South Carolina. No, I'm sorry. He's not in Chester County, Pennsylvania. He's in Chester County, South Carolina.
This is a very old story.
Why?
This is like from a year ago.
Are you sure?
I read it online. I know for a fact.
A year ago?
It's very old.
Where I get my news, it's from yesterday.
It is a very, very, very neat story, though. So please, by all means, continue.
I want to make sure I point something out. Do you know how hard it is to find positive news on the internet? I have a plethora of terrible news to share.
No, it's an awesome story. I love this story. It's fantastic.
Before somebody butted in, this just happened yesterday, by the way. I don't know when this happened. But there was a young man that wanted to go hunting. His mom has been ill. He submitted a thing. It was a different Chester County in a completely different state. Not all was lost. So Sheriff Alex Underwood stepped in, spending $220 of his own money to outfit Alex before taking him on a hunting trip. So if you'd like to read this, and you can check the dates because I'm not going to, I just look for good news.
It's a very neat story, and this sheriff even brought him there so that they could go together. It's really super cute.
If you'd like to know more, it's on our Facebook page, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Time to go, Heidi. Say goodbye.
Goodbye.
You've been poking at me all day over here. I think we need some time apart. We've been locked in this room together for what, a month? Can we please get out? All right. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Time now for the bonus break. Only available here on the John and Heidi Show podcast.
And your bonus break is brought to you by the Dollar Shave Club. You can learn more if you go to their website, but I'm going to tell you everything you need to know right now. Here's what you need to know. You can keep doing it your way. Going to the store, spending too much for razors, hoping that you remember to get them when you need them. Or you could simplify life. You could let them deliver the razors for less, and you have them conveniently delivered every single month to your door. Mm-hmm. Well, to your mailbox, officially. If your mailbox is in your door, then I guess I was right the first time. But they'll bring them right to your mailbox. It's $3 a month delivered right to your mailbox. Or you can upgrade to a bigger one for one that has more blades, 4 blades. So it's 2 for $3, or you can go with the 4 blades for $6, or you can go all out and get the executive series for $9 a month.
Here's the thing I've noticed.
What's that?
You're like registered for 6 of these accounts?
No, I got a couple of them. 2.
And every time I open the medicine cabinet now, razors are falling on my head because they're all piling up.
Because I got 2 accounts. I will. I'm going to dial that back a bit. Well, I did it because you and Troy kept taking my razors. So it's like, I'm going to get them some of their own, so I'm going to get another account. Anyway, I do have plenty of razors. Maybe we can give some razors away someday. But sign up. It's a cool thing. Check it out. dollarshaveclub.com/radio. So, little miss, pick on John today. Guess what I'm going to talk about?
What's that?
I'm going to talk about something all about you. There's a website called Mashable.com. They're doing something a little different. They're looking for the real Miss America. An online magazine, Mashable, wants to honor diverse roles, diverse role models. They're asking for people to nominate in response to this question. What woman in your life is making a difference in your community? Heidi Small.
Thank you, honey.
You're the one.
Try.
Making, it doesn't say a good difference. It doesn't even say positive difference. But if you'd like to know more, I put a link to that on our Facebook page as well, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Go check that out because it's a cool thing. They're doing I know it's kind of, they'll probably get sued from Miss America, but they're doing the real Miss America. So they're trying to find people who are making a difference in their community for real, not just somebody that looks good in a swimming suit, according to them. So there you go. Although,
that's nice.
You look good in a swimming suit, too. So if you want to know more about that, go check it out, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. In Meade, Pennsylvania, a man was hauled off to jail in the middle of his wedding ceremony when police realized that a recent restraining order petitioned for by his bride was still in effect.
Wow.
His bride asked for a restraining order, and then they got married. While they were standing next to each other, he was arrested.
First of all, if there's a gentleman that you've had to issue a restraining order
don't get married
on, you probably shouldn't be marrying him. This is not going to end well,
That's
most likely.
point 1 right there, yes.
Yeah.
Was there something else? You said first of all.
No.
Second of all? Nothing else?
No.
I apologize for today's program. We really should prepare before the show.
Second of all, it's going to be a pretty boring wedding night unless they give you a conjugal visit. There you go. There's your second of all.
Let's just stop it first of all. All right. 2 men in Florida were recently arrested for robbing a jewelry store. When questioned as to why they robbed the place, the men said, well, we need the money to pay college tuition. Not just any college. They're looking to go to the police academy. Not even kidding. They each needed $2,500 to go to Palm Beach Community College Police Academy. They thought it would be educational to see how real police handled a robbery up close and in person. So you think they're going to get in? Chances are not good.
No.
An unsuspecting mom was assaulted by a kooky criminal who passed up her purse and instead grabbed a full bag of dirty diapers.
Oh, that's
The
funny.
woman was changing her baby's diapers when she felt somebody pulling on the bag near her leg. Cops said the guy was last seen running from the parking lot with diapers and other baby's items in the bag. So he had no clue what he stole. I'm sure when he got around the corner and opened that bag up, he was probably not thrilled. It's like, great. Dirty diapers again. I'm the worst thief ever. All right, where should we end? How about with this? Some good news about the Ghostbusters. Saturday, September 19th, was the last day of filming for the new Ghostbusters movie. It's going to be in theaters in July. But this last Saturday, they wrapped filming. So they're completely done filming.
I'm actually pretty excited to see this.
Here's my problem. I'm a huge fan of the first movie. And I was even a little bit of a fan of the second movie because it wasn't bad. But the first movie was better. And I just don't know if this was necessary. So I guess we're going to find out.
The only thing that I am concerned about with this is that Bill Murray is going to be in it, but he's not going to be playing his character. I think if he's going to be in it, he should be his character, maybe training the new Ghostbusters or something. That should have been his role.
Well, we'll see what. But if they found a way for it to make sense, then maybe there's a way to make it all make sense.
But I am excited for it because they're all very talented ladies, the ladies that are in it. Yeah. And I'm glad they're not trying to remake the original because there's no way to top that. It was just phenomenal.
Well, and something else. I just saw this here. There's a number that it's one little line. I'm going to delete it, so I'm going to share it. It says 26 billion. You know what that is?
Oh, what is that?
That is the number of Lifesaver candies produced every year. 26 billion with a B. That's a lot of Lifesavers.
I don't think I've had a Lifesaver in...
I just had one.
I don't even know how many years.
I just had one. It's funny because I just had one. Where was I? Somebody handed me one. It was at church. Our daughter, Taylor. So
where'd she get Lifesavers?
They had them at when you walk in, they had them, the mints. They had the mints there. And I was visiting with somebody, and Taylor walks over, and she has one of those. It's like an individually wrapped one, and she hands it to me and smiles. I'm like, does my breath stink? What's going on? I had been drinking coffee. I'm like, oh, maybe it's because of that. And I asked her when we got in the car, I was like, did I have stinky breath? She's like, no, I just know you like those. I was like, well, it was kind of embarrassing. You hand it to me while I'm talking to somebody. It's kind of like, hey, hint, hint. Hey, old man, you stink. Take this. So just be careful when you hand somebody a Lifesaver because that's typically something you give somebody that has bad breath. And I probably did. That's going to do it for our bonus break that went way longer than it should have. If I could just rewind and take back half of that, I would. But it's too late. Dollar Shave Club, they love to give you bonuses. You can sign up at dollarshaveclub.com/radio.